Hello! Hopefully we are here without issue. I see a little red box on OBS, so we can hope. But welcome to the Trashcar Custom Dirt Race here at Bristol in the Svenska eRacingligan. As you can see, we're on dirt, and as such we've got a different format, Tony.
Jason, make sure all your sounds are turned on. There we go. Yep, we're good. Dirt racing at its finest. These guys are going to be doing an old Saturday night shootout style format. 3 heat races, then a B main, and then we are doing. That answers my question. They are going to farm the track, which means this track, unlike what we're used to, Jason, where as the session wears on, you lay more and more rubber down, and it actually helps the cars. The more you run on a dirt surface, the more it wears the surface out. As a matter of fact, just after the practice session, you can see where those dark marks are going through the corners. There is virtually no grip there. That is a very slick portion of the track, and it's definitely not going to be advantageous for especially these cars to really get a grip on the surface. So they are going to set the track state back to 0 in between the heat races and the consolation, which is always a good idea.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's really the only way that you're going to be getting any sort of speed out of the track during the final, which is supposed to be the main event, the main race.
Correct. We call it the A main on the dirt side of things.
Yeah. As I'm pretty sure near enough everyone's actually already completed their laps. We were just watching Jonas Skoglund behind the race info. Now we're watching Michael Haflidason run around the track. Saw a wall tap on his first time round. But second time should be good.
Well, Jason, normally when we come to the Svenska eRacingligan races, we're used to seeing 4,000, 5,000 IR in the iRacing servers. I'm looking through here right now, and the highest I rating I'm seeing is by Eric Blick with a 2719. That would maybe put him top 20 on a pavement side of things. But currently, he is the only driver in here with an A-class dirt oval license. Handful of Bs, a couple of Cs. It looks like this looks a lot like my report card.
Yeah.
An A, a few Bs, a couple of Cs, and a lot of Ds.
How'd you get an R? I don't know how you managed to do that one.
I consider those Fs.
I see. Yeah, so we got 3 people who are still classified as rookies on the dirt oval side of things, which, I mean, I am as well. So,
and 2 of them are surprising names: Marcus Stiller and Oscar Fredrickson, who have basically figured out their own way to print race wins on the pavement side of things. Stone cold rookies on the dirt oval side of things.
I mean, Oscar Fredrickson being rookie 2.5, so it seems like he hasn't done an official race around a dirt oval. But looking at the current standing, he's sitting in 13th in qualifying. That doesn't mean that he doesn't know what he's doing.
No, far from it.
So he definitely still looks like he knows what he's doing. But Tony, I have one question. We're doing qualifying. How does that determine who goes into what heat?
Okay, so what's going to happen is they're going to split the heats up into 3 sessions. Whoever sets quick time gets pole in session 1. Second quick goes pole in session 2. Third quickest goes pole in session 3. and then you just slot everyone in based on groups of 3. So 4th quick would be outside front row in heat race 1, and so on.
Okay, so effectively we're going 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Correct.
Cool. Well, we'll be able to see the grid here for heat number 1. It would help if I had the car numbers up. That would be lovely. If that is going to come up. Let me just refresh it. My apologies. There you go. Well, Jesper Eriksson up at the front of this one with Johan Larsson alongside. Row number 2 is going to be Jonas Gunnarsson and Linus Broström. With row number 3 going to Oscar Fredriksson and Kim Nyholm. Row 4, Robert Erling and Philip Björk. With row 5 going to Mika Hagström and Eric Lundberg. Row number 6 is going to go to Björn Broström and Michael Haflidason. So, reminder that 5 of these drivers are going to be going through.
Which means the remaining 7 are going to have to go run what we generally refer to on the dirt side of things as alphabet soup. Because in the bigger events, there's not just one consolation race, there's multiple. So I've seen it go as far as an S main before, like at places like the Chili Bowl in Tulsa, Oklahoma in January, where there's so many cars that they had an S main. And then the winner of the S main moves up to the R main. The winner of the R moves up to the Q. Q moves up to P, and so on. But here tonight, we're only going to have just one B main and that or consi, and then into the feature.
Good. That's pretty much all I can deal with. As I am going to apologise in advance because you may see a few issues with our timing graphics. The software that we use does not tend to like heat racing, and when you're doing dirt ovals with a lot of people, I mean, heat racing is kind of necessary, because I wouldn't want to see all 40 of these guys going round. There'd be just no room for anything.
Well, I mean, I've seen 42 car fields on some 5/8 mile tracks, which is just a little bit bigger than this. As the pace truck peels on off, green flag comes back out as Jesper Eriksson drops the hammer, and we are underway for heat race number 1. You can see just slipping and sliding already. That's the 55 of Larson having not a good time of it right now. It's the 33 of Gunnarsson up into second, and here comes Linus Broström on the low side.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he's having a particularly good time with his internet as well, unfortunately, but hey, we'll move on with that as... yeah, overall, great start for Michael Haflidason. He just nailed it down the inside of a load of drivers.
And it spooked Kim Nyholm so mad because he was top car on a 3-wide situation. Now you can see like where the 81 of Haflidason is running. There's still grip down there, and then on the outside of that shiny stuff, there's grip. But that shiny stuff is going to get closer and closer and closer to the outside wall here as this night wears on. And you're going to see the fast line move all the way to the wall. But they did make a statement, no wall riding is allowed.
Yeah, which makes sense, but Haflidason continuing his charge up as he gets past Oscar Fredriksson. 81 is up 7 positions in this one. He's already up into the top 5, which unfortunately you wouldn't be able to see because our graphics have just died, so apologies
to the dirt side of things,
on
my
that
friend.
One. Yeah, the graphics have got dirt in the servers.
Instead of using the ticker, I would suggest using the tower for this, only because it gives less of a headache with the tower.
Well, I will see what I can do. I will have to, on the fly, edit a tower into this one. I'll just change projects. As we have a caution out for
Philip Bjork just went for a wild one. Michael Hagstrom there too.
Wrong. Yeah, no, Philip Bjork had nowhere to go apart from into him. As I am going to try and fix this up a little bit.
Oh yeah, that was all on Hagstrom. As he jumped the cushion in 1 and 2, and once you get up there in the loamy stuff, you're basically along for the ride at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad you're saying things that sound like they make sense on a dirt side of things.
I grew up around the dirt tracks of Central New York, where we have about 62 tracks within an hour's drive of my house. 50 of them are dirt tracks.
That helps.
Yeah.
The gap is completely wrong, so we're going to ignore that. Nope, sorry. That one.
Jesper Eriksson looking to punch his ticket in. Jonas Gunderson sitting in second. Jonas Larsson sits in third, or Johan Larsson sits in third. Linus Brokstrom in fourth. Michael Haflidason currently has the final transfer spot directly into the A feature. Oscar Fredriksson, Kim Nyholm, Philip York, Robert Earling, Eric Lundberg, Bjorn Brostrom, and Mikkel Hagstrom, all on the outside looking in as the lights have gone out. Or no, I'm sorry, the lights are still on that Chevy Silverado pace truck.
Right, this seems to work.
Tower works a lot better, doesn't it?
And yes, it is the GT3 tower, but
that's fine, and that's perfectly fine. We'll fix that during our commercial break later.
Aha, you short limit.
Oh yeah, that's right. You haven't run cams when we've needed a commercial in a while. Fair enough.
Fortunately not, but if it works, it works. And if it works, I'm not going to try and fix it.
Well, bear with me 1 second here. Let me do a couple of things.
Lovely. Pace car is now off again, and here we go. Oh, Jesper Eriksson getting a bad start there. Going to be 3 wide going through turn 1. Jonas Gunnarsson going the long way around, but Jesper Eriksson finding some grip from somewhere.
Well, here's the thing, and a lot of these guys make the mistake when they first come to dirt oval. When you're on the pavement side of things, you want to restart like second gear, third gear in these cars. On the dirt side of things, start it in fourth and just roll into it. You're less likely to completely annihilate your tires at that point.
The top tip there from the man himself, who's grown up around all of the dirt racing. Gunnarsson now under pressure from Jesper Eriksson, but Gunnarsson running that high lane right up close to the wall really well here.
He is. He's making that top side work, and that's really where we're going to see everybody go in the second and third feature, because there's what they call a cushion up there, and it's just a little bit higher than he's running. Eriksson is running basically the right rear tire on that cushion. Think of it, I remember you had a bike as a kid and like build tracks in the woods.
Sure.
And you guys would make a banked turn. Think of it as progressive banking before progressive banking was. That's what the cushion is. Oh boy.
Yellow
Looks
again.
like Eric
Ooh.
Lundberg went for a ride.
Does look like it. I'll see if I can... see if I can find that one. Yellow flag comes out from already backwards. I'm here. Is just going to come off that wall and into Michael Hagstrom, and oh!
Yeah.
That's some crash physics.
You think?
Lundberg deciding to park it after that one, I mean, yeah, fair enough.
Alright, and Jason, please check your PMs.
Okay.
Ticker enabled. And something a little bit different than we're used to seeing on the dirt side of things. Tower is on the far right of what I sent you. But something we're not used to seeing on the dirt side of things is caution laps are counting here tonight.
Okay.
And a lot of times, like when we do a sprint car race or a late model race or a modified race or whatever it is on the dirt side of things, normally caution laps don't count towards the race finish, but I can kind of understand why they did that, considering that they want to get this heat race stuff done.
Oh, there you go.
Much better, right?
Well, that I like.
Happy to help, sir. I mean, it'll still hiccup every once in a while, but it's not as finicky as the ticker that normally goes across the top of the screen.
Yeah. Sting?
What's that?
There we go. No longer interesting.
Here we go. Back underway. Is Gunnarsson going to lead it going into one? Eriksson just sending it on the outside, a little too sideways. Gets pinched into the wall coming off a two.
Oh, and he's going to be turned here as well by the 57 going in pretty hard. That's going to send Jesper Eriksson in 7th. Someone's around there. Was that
Robert Gerling?
Straight into the pit wall.
And the left front suspension is no longer attached to that.
Yeah, unfortunately having to avoid his teammate. Bang from the 41 straight into him.
Congratulations, you are now officially going to the backup car and the B main. As we are going into overtime here in heat race number 1. 3 attempts at a green-white checker finish. So, one of the Volvo contingent leading one of the Audi contingent here tonight. I love this league. I really do.
Yeah. And after that, we've got an actual manufacturer.
Yeah, an actual Chevy and then an actual Ford. Another actual Chevy, another actual Ford, another actual Chevy. One of the few Toyotas in the field tonight being driven by Philip Gilbert. Light should be going out on the pace car this time by. What's that?
The logos underneath.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're kind of in the shadows right now because of where that timing tower goes.
Fine, I can try something. Either that fixed it or they're now gone.
What's that?
The logos.
Apart from column A, apart from column B? No, they're gone.
Yep, that's true.
As lights are out on the pace truck, as Gunnarsson gonna have the button as the field works its way through 3 and 4 one more time. And here we go. Green-white checker finish, first attempt at it. Gunnarsson getting out to a good lead, as it's a slugfest for one of the final transfer spots. Eriksson moves his way around Hagstrom, now sets his sights of trying to reel in Kim Nylom, Eriksson tries to reel in Nylom. Running out of time though, white flag is in the air.
Nice, and checkers.
That's it. That is checkers. So
There
Gunnarsson,
you go.
Haflidason, Linus Brostrom, Larson, Fredriksson, all transferring directly into the A. Nylom, Eriksson, Bjork, Broen Brostrom, all going to the B main. As heat race number 2 getting ready to grid on up now.
These were the heat ones. Now, take the time to see if it fix. Goes.
As Anton Ullman going to be starting up on the pole for this one. He's going to be joined on that front row with Daniel Solo. Marcus Hagman, one of his first appearances this season that we've seen the world's fastest Swede. He's going to be joined in row number 2 with Peter Helmbro. Andre Salander and Tony Oivonen going to start from row number 3, with row 4 going to Jonas Skoglund. Come on. Why you got to be that way? Tony Oivonen, Jonas Skoglund and Kenneth Tier in row number 4. Row 5 is going to see Haflidi Johansson and Marcus Stiller, with row 6 going to Eric Brix and Martin Leziak. As Blix, the only one here that does legitimately have dirt experience, A-class license, and one of the highest I ratings in the field, going to be starting shotgun on this one. So 25 laps, scheduled distance, top 5 move directly into the A feature.
And that pace truck is coming in fairly soon.
peeling off in the middle of 3 and 4. Now, the leader normally on the dirt side of things, not so much here tonight as Geico restart zone is in effect. Normally, the leader could fire anytime between the entrance of 3 and the exit of 4. Pace truck peels on off, and here we go. Heat race number 2, green flag action. Oh, hang on to her. Marcus Hagman, all sorts of sideways. It stacks him up behind him. As Andrew Salander up into the transfer spot. Oh, that's not good.
Say it's not good. They're holding it together. No, they're not. Yes, they are. No, they're not. Jonas Skoglund might be holding it together. He is holding it together.
Still in a 3-wide situation, though. As the 016 of Lesniak trying to make it happen as Hagman drops back to 5th now as he and Salander going after each other for that final transfer spot. Hagman running the high line, the cushion coming through. Going to let him get a little bit better run down the back straightaway as he now is going to dive it going into 3. Still side by side for that final transfer spot. And something happened to Ullman. He's already on pit road.
I would assume that's easy enough to do if you if we get a caution. We'll have a look at that one or race, but now Jonas Skoglund and Tony Overman battling out for 7th. So I don't know how you work together in a dirt race, but they might want to try and do it to get up towards 5th, as we've got an almighty battle for 3rd, 4th and 5th.
As Blix made it happen on the high side. You can see right through the tires. There's a lot of grip up there. That's where the moisture is left on the track. And, you know, I know yourself, you're normally hearing moisture on the track and you cringe. But that's what these guys are looking for. That's where all the grip is tonight. If you can find the moisture, you can go to the front. As Blix already up 8 spots. As we are working lap 8 of 25.
But it looks like Blix got it wrong through there as he lost quite a bit of time.
He did. He jumped the cushion the last couple of corners. And that's going to let Salander get back to him. And the good news is if you're in the top 5 right now, you're pretty much locked in. Because it's over a 1.5 seconds back from Marcus Hagman, who has the final spot, back to Kenneth Keir, who's in 6th right now.
Yeah.
And I don't think Blix is going to settle for 3rd, as he's already wheeled in Peter Helmbro and is starting to really put some pressure on the 77 now, as Daniel Solo out to his 2nd to the good, but fading quickly here.
As now we have Marcus Stiller in the pit as well, as Eric Blake's trying to get past Peter Helmbro. Is going to be able to have the momentum, obviously using the high lane. Not only is he able to carry more speed through the turn, he's going to be able to get more onto the straightaway and eventually get past, as it looks like he does, and reeling in that 1st place with speed.
And surprisingly tonight, everybody's only running 3rd gear.
Oh.
One of those deals where you put it in 3rd and let it eat. As now Blix has already caught Daniel Solo, who has led the previous 13 times around. As we now start lap 14, and Blix is giving all sorts of pressure to the 13. A little bit of contact coming off of 2. No harm, no foul there. Blix is going to go back to the top side as Solo protects that bottom. And just that quickly, he's already caught him back up. Now sends it all the way on the low side. Going to throw the slide job. Solo crosses him back over, gets the better run off of 2. Blix pulling out all the tricks he knows on the dirt side of things. Oy. A little close for comfort there, coming through 3 and 4.
That's a slide and a half.
He went to go bang the cushion, actually banged the wall. That's not good. It's very easy to screw up the rear suspension on these next-gen cars.
You can slide up, but I don't think you want to be hitting the wall. Solo putting up a very good defense here against the 95.
And just gave it all up there going into 3 as he slipped up as Blix gets into the loose stuff coming into 3. That's not going to help. Now working lap 18 of 25 here.
Famously, car 95 does know that if you find yourself going hard enough left, you'll be turning right. That's a car.
Yes. I see this. I see what you did there. And you can see he's not really throwing it in there. He did try it a couple times to try to scare Solo, but we've seen Solo run enough in other leagues that we know that he usually doesn't lift unless he absolutely has to.
Yeah, getting scared is... I don't think scared is a word in Swedish. Because he doesn't experience it by the looks of things, as Jonas Scotland has just made his way past Kenneth Tier, but it is 1.7 seconds forward to Andre Selander, so I don't think he's going to be able to make that up with 5 to go.
Well, Blix just has to be smart here. He knows he's in a transfer spot. Yes, it would be cool to win the heat race and start a little bit further forward. But you're still starting top 10 in the feature.
Yeah.
Solo just has to hang on for 2 more laps. It'll be white flag next time by as obstacle sticks are in the air. As that is Lesniak going a lap down to the leaders. White flag in the air. I'm sorry, popsicle sticks this time. It's going to be white flag next time. I can add, really, I promise I can, folks. As here comes Blix, going to have one final shot at him as white flag is in the air. They just have to make it to the start finish line. We are racing back to checkers in heat race number 2.
I think Blix says, how do you find a way through if you want to get past? I think this is how. This is going to be his last shot as checkered flag is in the air, not getting the exit he wants, having to steer out to avoid the pit wall there even. And Daniel Solo winning heat race number 2 here.
Solo, Blix, Helmbro, Hagman, and Salander going into the A feature. Tier, Skoglund, Oivinen, Lesniak, Hansen, and Ullman going to the B main as heat race number 3 starting to grid up.
Yep, those last 2 races had 12 drivers. This one is going to have 11, as we were just shy of 36 total drivers.
So getting ready to turn them loose here as there's going to be Homer and Ford starting up on the front row. Eraldson and Nielsen in row 2. Vilda Whalen and Philip Carlin in row number 3. Row 4 is going to see Anton Bradberg and Robert Eriksson. Emily Fagrell and Huckenwet in row number 5 and starting shotgun on the field in the 48 is going to be Dennis Scherp.
Yeah, and as one of my first times watching a dirt race, I think I'm going to be dizzy after this one.
Wait till you try it on some of the quarter-mile bull rings with sprint cars. Now, just to give you an indication of what type of lap time we're looking at, pole time here tonight was a 19 flat. The 410 wing sprint cars that iRacing has will turn this place in under 10.
Yeah, I'm fine.
But it's fun! Well, I take that back. It's under 12 for pole time.
But definitely not that quick in these.
Absolutely not, as Alex Eriksson already gotten by Jonas Fors, as that was the 19 of Nilsson eating the wall.
I think
Eriksson trying to make it. Go ahead.
Most of the drivers were eating the wall coming out of 2 as that's not an ideal exit, but it's still going to work out for him as Ulmer wasn't able to get the exit he wanted. He's going to be passed up by Fors now.
I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't want to be Pontius Nielsen and Philip Carlson right now, because that is an angry pack of hornets behind those two, as they are slugging it out for 4th and 5th, but Hilda Whalen making a gap of her own. Hang on to her.
Oh, the 48 didn't hold on to it. That's... NASCAR officials are asleep. That was not a yellow flag. Okay.
He was off the racing line.
He wasn't at some point.
No, probably not. But...
Nevertheless, we continue.
Spores and Homer continue to do battle for second.
Yeah. Just looking at Phil Berlin, who is looking to catch up to the 22 of Philip Carlin. But that gap is unfortunately only increasing, and it will only increase more after that.
Just got it a little too sideways in 3 and 4.
Yep, you're going through to the B main if you stay there, and gonna have to fight to try and get through to the main race.
As Emily Federell trying to get by Anton Bradberg right now, as there's contact coming off the 4, still beating and banging, as the 111 of Bradberg and the 101 of Stott getting into it. They're wet. Hakan, I do apologize for butchering your name the entirety of this season.
Yeah, we might get it right eventually. We do have a yellow now.
That's Dennis Scherp sideways again.
Yeah, looks to be, as he's reset to the pit lane. Take a look at how that happened.
Just overcooked it going through 3 and 4. 22 of Carlson, nowhere to go, and just blasted his teammate.
Yeah, I know you want to find grip, but I think he found a little bit too much rear grip for his liking.
After he got the car completely sideways.
Yeah.
He slid through that slick stuff in the middle of the corner, and as soon as it got to where the moisture was up in that cushion area, up on the outside of the turn, it bit and just sent him right down the track. So 10 laps in the books.
Oh.
Huh? Hoo-ha.
I can have logos now.
Yay and stuff.
Perfect. On screen. Them. Da, 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 da.
So Rilson, Fors, Homer, Nilsson, Carlson, all having transfer spots currently. Eriksson, Bradford, Wetz, Whalen, Bagrell, and Sherp all going to the. Let me just double check my facts. Yeah, it's Sherp all going to the B main.
Yes. That is how it would be if it ended like this. But they're still going to have another 13 laps to contend with after we go green. None of the races so far really threatening the time limit that's been imposed. The 13-minute time limit on the heats. We're going to have...
Well, that's what we ran into in Heat Race 1, which is why we didn't actually do a green-white checker.
Oh, okay. I thought we were
Nope,
slightly further away than we were, but...
Ran a tick long in Heat Race 1. As Errolton getting a good jump, as Nilsson putting some pressure, feeling the pressure, I should say. As Homer going to slot up in front of him, and those three superior cars of Carlson, Bradford, and Eriksson, all looking to get their way into the A feature together.
Yeah, unfortunately they're all going to have to move up if they want to get in together. At the moment it's only Bratberg out of those three that's going to be coming into the feature race. Well, qualifying straight to the feature race, I'll have to say, is
Right.
6th place will get you on or near the front row for consolation, which is a good chance.
Yeah, but I just looked at what that consi is going to look like. It's 35 laps with one going to the feature. That can't be right.
7.
Okay. Oh, there it is.
As all Bratberg's looped it.
That's sideways in front of its team superior, number 22. That's Carlson, and Carlson could not get on the brakes quick enough. Just finished him off as the 35 of Eriksson also getting in there. That's going to let Wet get in front of Eriksson. So well then.
Yeah. It will mean that Haraldson has some more work to do, as he's still got to contend with the drivers behind him on restarts.
Mm-hmm. Now, something to make note of if you're taking a look at who's where in this field. Let me just pull this next box up. Jonas Fors currently sitting to where he should end up after this week at a C-Class license. He's currently sitting at a D 4.5, which is an automatic upgrade at the end of week 13. And does currently, on track right now, has the highest I rating at 2153, which means he's done quite a bit of dirt oval racing.
Yeah, which will definitely come in handy. I mean, you've got to do it to be good at it, and clearly he's done a decent amount. But well, we say he's going to go up. That does mean that he hasn't completed his MPR to get up to C. Otherwise, it would be automatic. So
correct. But you know, the biggest thing to be mindful of too is these next-gen cars don't handle like any other car on a dirt track. They're the only ones in the iRacing server that actually run dirt on a regular basis that have independent rear suspension. Everything else is a solid axle. So that really plays with the handling because, you know, on the sprint car side of things, you have what they call a Watts link, the Z link. On the modifieds and the late models, you have a J, what they call a J bar, basically like the track bar we talked about, the pavement side of things in the trucks and the Xfinity stuff. You know, that's the other thing too, is the only top 3 division in NASCAR that doesn't have a dirt type for it yet in the iRacing servers are the Xfinity cars, the B cars.
Yeah, as we go again, and main focus here looking at that 5th spot. Philip Collin managed to move up into 4th past Pontus Nielsen, but that may change fairly soon. Nielsen's got the outside, so if he can run the outside well, not high enough, as yellow flag is going to be out again for whom?
Phil Wallin.
Oh, look, oh. That appeared to be her being turned by Håkan Hurt there, but we'll take another look. We'll have to just reverse time a little bit. And...
Yep.
Doesn't really change how I look at the situation for looking at the entire thing, to be honest.
Wet was chasing it down the track, and unfortunately Vilda was there, and around she goes. Not exactly what she was hoping for, but still have all of the B main to get it done with. As this is gonna get close.
Time-wise, yes.
We might be able to get one overtime attempt in.
Well, as far as I can tell, we're currently, what, 1 minute and 17 to go? Roughly?
Roughly, yeah. Which means we're pretty much going to have one shot at this to get both laps in.
Looking at how long the pace laps are going, I'm not even sure we are going to get both laps in. I think it's going to actually be a 1-lap shootout if we go 1 to green this time, which I think we are.
We
no, we're not.
Are not.
We will get round to 1 to green.
Allegedly.
But we're not. Oh, actually, no, we might. We're not going to get the lap in, so I think this is how it's going to stay.
Man, 30 seconds left, and it's about that delta for a pace lap. Actually, it's 45 seconds for a pace lap, so we might be ending it here.
Yeah. So we are across the line.
Oh, great. The lights went out, so we're having a drag race to the start-finish line. Boy.
It'll say 1 to green, so in theory...
Oh, yeah, no. Pace truck's going to peel off, but that's about all we're getting.
Yeah.
So all Arilton has to do is just hang on to it off of 4.
Well, I don't think we're actually restarting here. Force and Holm are having a bit of fun, just
no, we're restarting.
Each other. You say that.
Well, the green flag came out, but and that's it.
We're on white flag.
No, because nobody's running actual race pace right now. That was it.
Well, the UI did not like that one.
Not at all. But Arilton 4's Arilson, Fors, Holmer, Carlson, and Nielsen all going into the A feature directly from the heat. B main is going to see Eriksson, Bradberg, Wet, Fagrell, and Whalen. And Terp. I knew I was going to mess that up. And yet I did it anyways.
Well, here we go then for our biggest grid race. No, not the biggest grid race of the day. Just about. We're having 20 here. We're going to have 22 in the main race, all going well. Kim Newholm and Kenneth Tier start first and second, with row number 2 is an all Eriksson row. Robert Eriksson and Jesper Eriksson. Row number 3, Jonas Skoglund and Anton Bratberg, with row 4, Philip Björk and Tony Overnen. Row number 5 going to Håkan Wet and Björn Broström. Tony.
Sure, you're gonna throw me on the spot like this. Hold on, I got to get there. Bear with me, folks. I apologize. My timing is going through up on me. Where are we? Row 5?
Yep, starting row 6.
Tony Oivinen and Håkan Wet, Bjorn Broström and Martin Lisniak in. Bjorn Broström in row 5. Lisniak and Fagrell in row number 6. Row 7 is going to see Mikael Hagström and Haflidason Johansson, Vilda Whalen and Robert Erling in row 8. Row 9 is going to see Anton Erman and Dennis Scherp, Eric Lundberg and Marcus Stiller starting shotgun on the field.
And
so 20 cars.
Time.
20 cars scheduled to roll it here for 35 laps. Top 7 go into the A main. Everybody else, too bad, so sad. We'll see you next time. As Nyholm has the button this time, what type of restart is that Mustang gonna get? Highest running forward by about 10 spots right now. Green flag comes back out, and we are underway in the first green of the Consti. Trying to pick his way through as here comes Eriksson to make up what happened in that heat race. Nyholm jumps the cushion.
We know that Eriksson's got speed, so he's just looking to get to the front and get away here, as that might not happen. We've got carnage coming back here. We're about 5 wide, casually. And number 4 is going to be around. That's Emily Fagrell. Yellow flag coming out, just about.
It's like Fagrell and Stiller both getting into each other.
Yeah, a lot happened in the space of that time. There were about 7 cars in the corner at once. Well, you can see it happening in front of Stiller there, and then Fagrell not having much option but to be down into Stiller. Let's take a look from the beginning as to how that happened. So green flag is out. Let's take an onboard shot here from Amelie Fagrell as
she got used as a pinball through by her father-in-law.
That's not ideal.
No. Oh, to be around the dinner table this evening.
Yeah. That is an awkward dinner table discussion as what you can't see in all of that is that there was a car on her outside as well.
Yes.
Part of that whole situation.
Well then, Eriksson, Nyholm, Eriksson, Tier, Skoglund, Bradberg, and Oivinen in the final transfer spot right now in 7th. Lisnick, Bjork, Ullman, Hagström, Lundberg, Wet, all on the outside looking in right now. as we are only working lap 5 here under the first caution here in the B main. And don't get alarmed, folks, because once this race is over, you're going to see all of that shine in the corners go bye-bye, as they are going to what we call farm the track and get it back to a 0 state, so that they can work some grooves in during the warm-up session. But with 5 minutes, there's not going to be a lot of beating on this track, so it's going to be pretty much going back to what they had when they first got into the session, if you were one of the first handful of leaders.
I think that's going to be weird for those drivers who are in Heat 3 and this consolation race, as most of their recent practice during the races is going to be on this type of surface, as
it is
underway.
But here's the thing: you're going to be able to tell who are the drivers who figured out what changes they need to make to their setup on a sticky track as opposed to a slick track. Right now, we're about as slick as you can see these tracks in iRacing. And it's the people that can make the right adjustments, go in the right direction. Oh, they dial hang on to her. How is that not a caution? There it is.
See, I told you they were asleep. But luckily for me, I was in exactly the correct place to catch that.
Yay.
Let's see it from a slightly different angle, as
try TV tower.
Well, to be honest, New Holm just loses it through the turn, and then the pack behind, not really much can be done about that one.
Nope. Not as close as these guys and gals are running. You're pretty much along for the ride at that point. But I mean, you can see just there just how slick this track is right now. So
yeah.
But that gets back to what we were talking about. You need to have a setup for a slick side, and you need to have a track setup for a tacky track. Because a tacky track, it's basically the car is going to go on the pavement side of things. We would call it a tight condition. And just keep in mind, folks, remember when we say loose and tight, loose is when you back the car into the wall, tight is when you hit the wall with the front end of the car. Horsepower determines how fast you were going when you hit the wall, and torque determines how far you take the wall with you once you hit it.
Yeah, it's being given some nice aerial shots there, and the track is looking, well...
very dry slick.
Yeah, if we could get any more dirt off of that, it would just be Bristol.
Yeah, pretty much. But the thing to keep in mind is for our fans over in Sweden, I'm sure you folks are used to driving on ice. That's pretty much what it feels like, and these drivers are trying to put 700 horsepower down to 2 10-inch tires in the back of this. Lights are out on the pace truck, as we've already got to have 12 in the books when we go back to 3. Eriksson, Skoglund, Eriksson, not to sound redundant at all, but the two Eriksson's going to start stem to stern here, trying to move both their ways into the A feature. And here we go.
Here we go indeed. Jesper Eriksson getting a good start.
Bradford thrown it to the top side on tier.
Oh. Already.
Dennis, sure.
Sorry, just had to stop myself from sneezing. Let's have a look.
Ooh, yeah, no, that popped off in front of him.
So, oh yeah, indeed that did. He barely got caught by that one. Let's take a look. It's suggesting Björn Broström crashed as well.
It started with Stiller and Broström.
That bit started with Stiller and Broström, maybe, but there was some stuff happening ahead of them as well. I think.
Oh yeah, no, the 84 and the 82 getting into each other. So that'd be Oivinen and Uman. The 84 was chasing it up the track. Yeah. The 42 was chasing it down the track. Broström saw it and tried to get on the binders, and unfortunately, no room at the end.
Yeah, well, you may see something, but unfortunately, the zero guarantee at that point that the car behind you is going to be able to see it.
Correct, and that's exactly what we just saw. You know, Broström was trying to jump on the binders. Nobody could mic up quick enough to say, hey, they're spinning, which is the universal iRacing terminology to, hey, you need to jump on the brakes.
Yeah. And I'm told that if it does only advance one driver from this race, then we'll get a new server set up with the set grid, but it definitely should be 7.
Yeah, I'm seeing 7 to transfer right now.
Okay, good.
Now that we are in the consi, it says 7 will transfer.
Cool, thank you iRacing for giving us a mini heart attack.
Only a mini one. You forget, I've already had a couple.
Don't do that again.
I
don't
would
have
prefer
any more.
not to. That's the most terrifying thing I've ever experienced. Both times. As the face truck is in, Eriksson has the trigger, jumps on the loud pedal, and moves back away. Oi! Who was that? Kenneth Tier.
Ooh, that's parking. TV
the
tower gonna be my friend.
Yeah, oi!
Ooh, big tank slapper. And then just... car moves down track, obviously, as gravity exists.
Skoglund lost it going into 1, got the car way too sideways, tried to correct, went up the track into, oi. And all hell broke loose.
Yeah, I mean, not much anyone could do about any of that if you're behind it. I mean, good luck avoiding incidents at a paved Bristol, but when you got dirt on it, yeah. Enjoy
especially
that.
when the track has gone dry slick like it always does here. It's like trying to drive a car at 100 miles an hour on a hockey rink and then jump on the brakes. And the tires only have their street tires.
I mean, great job from quite a few of our drivers to just get the cars just stopped. Just purely.
That's the way to do it.
I was seeing Skoglund come into the pits.
Correct.
Now, there's a question for the main race.
Huh.
Pit stops, yes, no?
Available.
What are we thinking?
They're available. I'm not seeing. Oh, 85% fuel fill might be pushing it. We might see a pit stop
Okay.
or two. Because they've only got an 85% fuel fill for the feature, or for all the races tonight.
Yeah, but obviously the feature's the only one where that actually might matter.
All right. Well, let's see what this one shakes out to. As the car's looking to get back on the lead lap, just got their wave rounds. And, well, look at that. An all Eriksson front row on this restart. They're going to need to extend this.
Eriksson and Eriksson as in to go green once again. Here we go.
And they're already beating and banging.
Oh, no, they're already spinning is what they're doing. That's going to be another caution. That's Philip Bjerg facing the wrong way.
It's a one-way street, dude. I'm only going one way. Yeah, you're going the wrong way, dude. What are conversations Drunk Tony had in college for $200?
As that was a incident with the 016, so we'll keep eye on Martin Liesnich from the green. The 044 already into the wall and then just spins it down. Gets into the wall off the start and just spins it down into the 016, and then that sends him back up.
Well, the 016 is there, and then the 18 is there as well. That kind of finished him off. So Eric Lundberg, was trying to avoid it, and unfortunately had bounced off the 016. And
yeah,
we have a backwards 044.
So 11 laps to go, but 5 minutes to do it in. It's possible if we're green.
The answer is a definite maybe.
Yeah, the trouble with that statement is we're not green, so...
Right. And if you take a look at what's going on for that final transfer spot, Robert Earling has it right now. Huck and Wet wants it.
Indeed.
Tony Oivonen and both he and Kim Nyholm have shown speed here tonight, as that rounds out your top 10. So place your bets, folks. $10 to go. And 4 minutes to get it done. Next flag ends it as lights go out on that Chevy Silver pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing. Jesper Eriksson going to have the trick. Robert Eriksson going to start to his outside. Anton Bradberg, is he going to play nice with his team superior teammate? Only time will tell. Field works its way through the 3-4 complex. Pace truck gets ready to make that hard left turn. There it goes. Eriksson has the button, jumps on the loud pedal, and we are back underway. Bradberg getting the restart he needed. Is he able to, so far, hold off Lisniak at the pass?
Oh, what's round? That's going to be another caution here. We are on caution number 6. That's fairly impressive, actually.
Why am I having flashbacks of the last Martinsville race you and I did together?
We're not going to have the laps to get it to be that bad, but the 58 just running up into the 101, and then that sends him around, unfortunately for Tony Overton, straight into his path. So he's going to have a lot of work to do given the opportunity, but I don't think he will be given the opportunity. We're going to have 2 minutes and 14 seconds left on this one, so I think we're going to be seeing it end about the same way as Heat 3 did.
So as of right this second, Jesper Eriksson, Robert Eriksson, Anton Bradberg, Martin Wisniak, Vilda Whalen, Eric Lundberg, and Robert Earling have all 7 transfer spots. Kim Nyholm is going to have one final Hail Mary kind of deal and just throw it up there and see what happens. Kenneth Tier is going to have to hope for something. Same thing with Marcus Stiller, as the lights are still on the pace truck. We're probably not going back to green.
Yeah, I don't necessarily see that one happen. Trouble is with track being covered over with dirt, I can't tell what's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4.
Go to TV Tower, and that will be right above the start-finish line. That's directly above the start-finish line, sir.
Oh.
Up in where the press box is.
I'm on TV Mixed, sorry. There we go.
Nope. TV Tower.
There you go. Yeah,
it's Jason's first time on here, folks.
Sorry.
It's alright.
Yeah,
I'm sorry for being late and forcing you to do this.
It takes about 45 seconds for the pace truck and the field to get around, but we started this lap with about 41 seconds to go. So if we want to start it, Jesper Eriksson's going to have to go immediately.
We might have it.
I would not make.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Green?
We are racing.
We're still green.
Green and white being flown at the same time.
Well, Kim Nyholm not able to do it. There's going to be a crash behind them, but checkered flag is going to be out. Who's going to get the last spot here? Kenneth Tier making a run for it, just about getting past Eric Lundberg at the dying moments.
So Jesper Eriksson, Robert Eriksson, Martin Wisniak, Anton Bradberg, Vilda Whalen getting a transfer spot, moving up 10 spots. Robert Earling plus 10, and Kenneth Tier getting the final spot into the A feature. And poof, just like that, we've got a fresh racetrack, folks. As you can see, all that shiny stuff in the middle of the corners is now gone.
Yep, and we have a warm-up to look through as well, which is nice.
Handful of drivers getting ready to bring them on out.
Keep the tower on for the warm-up, see what type of times people are able to do.
So again, I do want to apologize, Jason, for putting you on the spot to do cams on this race, being it's your first dirt race, having to run cameras. But my parents gave me an early birthday gift, or Christmas birthday gift, and they bought me a powered wheelchair.
That is good.
So, I had to go pick up my new... Yes, it will. I had to go pick up my new whip, and that's what took me so long. Although I will say that it's terrifying the first couple of times you have to hoist it.
Got a fresh set of wheels. Just try not to turn up the power setting to full and race around the shopping mall.
I'll tell you right now, I turned it up to 2, going from the parking lot to the building, and it terrified me. I can't imagine what 5 looks like.
I reckon you'll be able to get on track.
Just about. They said this thing will do 20 miles an hour, so I could be the pace. I could be the pace car. Good grief.
You could probably keep up with traffic in insert city here.
I could definitely take it down the freeway where Frank is when he tries to come home from work later this afternoon.
Yeah, anywhere in California.
Yeah, Southern California rush hour traffic is a nightmare. Usually the 405 is a parking lot. Especially if you're visiting for the first couple of times, you say, "Oh yeah, it's only 30 miles. That shouldn't take to get there." Yeah, you're doing 5 mile an hour down the freeway.
It's almost as if we have invented large machines that run on rails that transport up to about 600 people at a time.
Well, think about this, Jason. Back at the turn of the last century, the 1900s, rich people owned cars, poor people owned horses.
Yeah.
Now here we are, only 20 years into the current millennium. Poor people own cars, rich people own horses. Yeah.
It does flip that way.
You know, it used to be like, at least over here in the States, it used to be Ford, Chevy, and Dodge going against each other. Then it became gas versus diesel. Well, now it's everybody against that electric crap. Because I'll tell you right now, as exciting of racing as they do have, or they make it look on TV for the Formula E series, you're not going to be able to replace, no matter what you do to electric cars, you're not going to be able to replace just that primal feeling you get when, you know, you're on the front stretch and 40 plus with 700 horsepower turn themselves loose, and it kind of shakes the ground and vibrates the bones.
Yeah.
You know, and then you got Top Fuel, which 2 Top Fuel cars combined, when a Top Fuel dragster race happens, just those 2 cars have more horsepower between the 2 of them than the entirety of the field in the last Daytona 500 combined. And you stand there on the start-finish line as a crew member, and they go to touch off. Your vision as a crew member blurs for a split second. It's amazing.
Well, we don't quite have that much horsepower in each of these cars. If we did, good luck to all the drivers. But what we do have is the starting lineup. Jonas Gunnarsson and Daniel Solo will take the front row, with Alex Araldson and Michael Haflidason taking row number 2. Eric Blixt and Jonas Force on row 3, with Linus Broström and Peter Helmbro on row number 4. Daniel Holmer and Johan Larsson on row 5, with row 6 being Marcus Hagman and Philip Carlin.
Oscar Fredriksson and Andre Salander going to roll off from row number 7. Row 8, you're going to see Pontus Nielsen and Jesper Eriksson. Robert Eriksson and Martin Lisnek going to roll off in row number 9, with row 10 going to Anton Bratberg and Vilda Whalen. Robert Earling and Kenneth Tier going to start shotgun on the field back there in row number 11. 22 cars slated to do 100 laps here tonight. Again, 85% fuel fill. They've got 5 sets of tires, but tire wear is pretty negligible here on the dirt side of things. Think of it as a Talladega race, folks, for those of you who are familiar with the iRacing servers. But Yeah, this is about to get interesting. Is Gunnarsson and Solo going to lead us to green? Those two Volvos on the front row. It's going to make things exciting, Jason.
Yep, our end.
Lights are out on the Chevy Silverado pace truck, the official pace truck of iRacing. And you can see where that dark stuff is, way at the top. That's the cushion I was talking about earlier, folks. But as the field worked its way down the back straightaway and into turn number 3, pace car getting ready to haul it on off. The only thing that's left to say is it's time to wipe the visor and adjust the 5-point harness. Grandma, grab some barbecue because it's time to get it on in Bristol. Race fans, it's show time! Solo getting a much better getaway is Gunnarsson spun the tires. That's going to open the door for Haflidason to get there as well. 3-car tango at the front of this piece, already a half a second to the good over that battle for fourth between the 95 of Blix and the 24 of Eriksson.
ET1 running super high already. Bit of contact between the 81 and the 33 coming through here, but that's all fine. As that's getting just about sorted out, there's another huge battle behind them. As we're looking back at Daniel Holmer, there's a crash.
Marcus Hagman catching a piece of that one. 49 of Kenneth Tier.
Look, just... Ooh.
Oh!
The 22 getting massively shunted, and the 19 not coming off without damage as well. As Marcus Hagman got pinballed between those two.
Well, that all started coming off of 4 when the 140 of Salander kind of gave Marcus Hagman the old Spanish archer, the elbow, and sent him around, and then boom goes the dynamite, as they say.
Yeah, it does.
I dare say Carlson's not going to make it back out.
Let's see. Left front suspension. Oh, that's... The suspension's okay. Roughly.
Yeah, it wasn't until he hit the tire barrier, or tire barrels, or the water barrels at the end of the pit wall.
Ah. That's not going to do you too much good.
No. At best case scenario, it's just broken left front suspension. Worst case scenario, he blew the engine because there was a lot of smoke when that thing hit the wall.
Daniel Solo being told to hit the pace truck.
Hit the pace truck?
Gladly obliging.
Hit the pace truck. Why? You hit every other damn thing out there. Won't you? No. Sorry. Allegedly, being as Tom Cruise has done a couple of sequels as of late for some of his bigger roles, Days of Thunder 2 is allegedly in the works.
Oh. That means I'm going to have to watch Days of Thunder 1.
Sounds like a game plan. We'll have to have a watch party.
We can do that. We've got a Cars reference in. I've got Days of Thunder reference in. What else can we put into this broadcast?
Well, just remember, Jason, you don't stop racing when you get old. You get old when you stop racing.
That is another one.
Le Mans.
Oh, this is Bristol. As we're going underway again in the 13, getting a
What
terrible
the hell?
start. That's going to be a massive crash in turns 1 and 2, but I have no idea idea what happened to the 13 on the start. That's actually what I'm going to go to first.
He just threw the anchor out after he took the green.
Didn't get the right camera. So he just seems to slow down. Is that on purpose?
Oh, it wouldn't go into second gear because he over-revved it.
Ah, yeah. I mean, he started off in second. He tried to shift up to third, but
yeah, no, your safest
9,000 RPM. Nah, not gonna happen.
Yeah, no, your safest bet on the dirt side of things, and I'll say this till I'm blue in the face to anybody that'll listen. The safest thing you can do is put it into whatever your race gear is going to be and restart in your racing gear.
Yeah, man, it wasn't because of that, but it was a big crash at turn 2. Saw it from focusing on Jonas Force there, but Daniel Holmer getting a bit and getting spun up to the top. Take a look from Robert Eriksson. Choice but to pile into Holmer. Now Jesper Eriksson. Fortunately got about 5 different hits in that one, and then finally Anton Bratberg. Got through it. Got through it by slowing down.
Sometimes that's all you can do.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, sometimes you can't even do that. If you're going quick enough, good luck. As attention's going to turn to the lead as the lights are out.
Lights are out, and Eric Blixt already up into third, gained a couple of spots already. Three-way tie for your biggest mover between Lusnik, Whalen, and Callender. As green flag comes back out, Haflidason jumps on the cloud pedal, and we are back underway as Blixt working the low side right now, up into second. Is the 33 at Gunnarsson going to give him a shot going into 3? Hey. Battle going on for 4th, though.
Battles
Helmbro and Larson were going after each other. Now here comes Rilston back into the mix.
Haraldson still working that low side. I guess while he can. Not able to make fastest stick just yet, but a bit of contact mid-turn with Johan Larsson. He's going to be able to get alongside him. Possibly carry enough speed to come through. Doesn't look like that's quite going to happen. Is he going to have to defend from Selander? Solo trying to send it. Haraldson sending it a bit too hard. Contact with Johan Larsson, but great control from both of them to keep in a straight line.
So far, so good here. As good battling in the backside of the top 10. As you've got, actually from 5th on back, you've got great battling going on. So the front 3 have started to walk away. But Larson, Solo trying to make it happen on the top shelf on Larson.
About able to get through with a little bit of touchy on exit.
They're trying to pick him up and lay him down right now, but
I think Larson's changing gear.
is he?
Yeah, he's using third through the turns and then shifting up to fourth. Straights. Don't necessarily see why, but fair enough.
Maybe he thinks it gives him better bite on a tacky track, which it'll work for now, but he's going to want to leave it in fourth once this track starts to slick over, because you're going to take some of the torque away from the drivetrain, and it'll make it a whole bunch easier to maneuver at that point. 3 wide.
Yeah, Larson actually made contact with the rear of the 37 there, almost helping him to get through. That's not ideal. Hold on to it. There's going to be contact between himself and Haraldson going into the turn.
Things are starting to get interesting at the front of this field, as the 95 of Blix, I'm sorry, that was the 75, a lap car got up into the wall. I do apologize. Oh. Haflidason is playing wrecking ball out there.
Seemingly taking they'll move out of the way if I make them approach to some of the lap traffic.
And that's not always the wisest idea, because there's still a couple races left, and where he's sitting in points, you don't want to be that guy.
Very true, but unfortunately for him, he's lost the lead because of it. As Eric Blixt got through a few laps ago when Haflidason got it completely loose after one of the turns, had to chase it down the track.
Haflidason trying to reel Blixt back in here as they're working their way through the lap cars. That was Robert Eriksson that just went a lap down. Our 2 leaders is it's a 4-second gap back to Jonas Gunnarsson.
It is
Good
indeed
grief.
looking a little bit further back here at the battle for 11th. Marcus Hagman doing this with Anton Brattberg and Rostrom in the mix there. Contact in the middle of the turn. Linus Rostrom going to get sent up to the wall. Does manage to keep going in a straight line, though he's not going to be happy about that, and he's going to have some damage on that car sustained as well. What was that, Pete? Tony, sorry?
I said I accidentally unplugged my microphone.
I see. Well, now it's back in.
It absolutely is. As another thing that's
nice
back
force.
in. Took the words right out of my mouth.
He didn't back in, he fronted in. Look. How that happened, we just saw him sat on the inside of 3 and 4.
That bottom lane has already gone away. Where his car is currently sitting, where that darker section is, you can see where the banking is. There's a transition there that you don't want to try to straddle, and that's exactly what we tried to do going into 3. And it's like hitting a curb.
Well, he had his rear tyres where there was no grip, and
Right.
You can guess what happens after that one.
Blackjack, everybody lose.
No rear grip is famously the thing that makes you spin.
Yes.
We'll see if anyone's going to decide to come into the pits. Again, you said I wouldn't necessarily expect tyres, but maybe a good idea under
tires...
caution to come in for fuel, and if you are, then tyres maybe as well. You might as well.
Might just as well. I mean, you're under caution.
A few people doing it.
Throw a fresh set of shoes on that thing and see what happens. That's what Marcus Hagman did back on lap 10.
Yeah, that's what Helmbro, Linus Broström, Jonas Forst, Daniel Holmer, and Pontus Nilsson are choosing to do. Philip Carlin still in the pits.
I dare say with it being on pit road this long, that's probably an engine.
Well, I think actually he did come out of the pits and then jumped back to pits, so I think there is just something wrong with that car. That's fairly unfixable, but here we go. A few drivers have chosen to come down, and we'll see how those guys perform. We're getting ready to restart it again here.
Blix, Haflidason, Eriksson, Gunnarsson, Solo. Your top 5 is here we go. Jesper Eriksson has climbed his way up 12 turns. Currently sits just inside the top 5. Is only 3 wide.
That's a robust hit onto Alex Haraldsson from Johan Larsson. Saw that in the back of shot.
Haflidason trying to work the cushion right now as it inching ever closer to that outside wall. Bangs the wall in the middle of 3 and 4, comes off with a good head of steam, able to get by Jonas Gunnarsson as Solo and Eriksson have not given up on each other yet. Meanwhile, at the bottom end of the top 10, it's Hagman and Salander going after each other.
Yeah, the 140 being very brave, sitting directly in the middle of the no grip patch, as I'm going to call it. Because I've no idea what it's supposed to be called. It looks like we may have an incident.
Yes. Yes, we did.
That caution flag was...
Linus Broström.
Seems to be very late, considering Linus Broström is still backwards.
So Villa overcooked it. Linus got into her, jumped on the binders, and then the 19 of Pontius Nielsen just flat ran Linus over.
Yeah, and then we were sat like this, still no caution, still no caution. Then it came out. Linus, you're on dirt, you can just do a flick spin. There we go. Just spin it. I wonder if we'll see some more drivers coming down for a fuel top up, and then while you're down there maybe some tyres as well. I mean, Helmbro doesn't appear to have taken any tyre because he was only stopped for 5 seconds, but
yeah, no, that's fuel only for Helmbro.
I think if you're going to be stopped, you're going to be at the back of the queue anyway.
Yeah, you might
Might
just
as well.
at that point. 13 cars left on the lead lap. Eric Blix leading the place. Michael Haflidason in second. Jonas Gunnarsson, Dan Solo, Jesper Eriksson running at your top 5. Johan Larsen, Alexander Erilston, Martin Liznick, Marcus Hagman, and Andre Salander rounding out your top 10. Anton Bradberg, Peter Helmbro, and Oscar Fredrickson rounding out your lead lap cars. You are watching the Svenska eRacingligan here on Sim Racing Media. He's Jason Salford. I'm Tony Trapasso. Thank you so much for making us a part of your Thursday evening, afternoon, no matter what part of the world you're in or when you're watching this. If you haven't done so already, be sure to give this a video, an upvote or a thumbs up if you're on the YouTube side of things. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss a single moment of action here on Sim Racing Media. As Jason, we're back. Even with the holidays abound, we are back with having content 7 nights a week again.
Yeah, nothing like a bit of winter racing. Obviously, it's going to die down a bit in the Christmas week itself, but on the run up to Christmas and the holiday season, we've got loads of racing action, including this directly in front of you, as we're going to be green once again here on lap 46 of 100 of Trashcar Custom Dirt Race. Ow.
Yep, there it goes.
Feels like one of those ones that you saw coming from a mile away but knew that no one had any power to stop.
Yeah, unfortunately. That kind of started going into 1.
Yeah.
Haflidason got nerfed by the 33 of Gunnarsson and then put into a 3-wide situation, and that could only end poorly at that point. 3-wide under the best of times might work on the pavement side of things, but with the track starting to slick off, yeah, there was a caution coming out regardless of that.
Yep, so 5th caution of the race. We're on lap 48. We did have a quite nice green flag run during this one, so
yeah, prior to the last couple of cautions, we did have a good solid 20 laps. I mean, and I can only hope that we have that continue.
Yep, hopefully so. Cautions may breed cautions, but we're hoping to maybe change that a little bit.
Fingers crossed. As we are working our 5th caution of the A main here.
And we're just about to cross to halfway through.
Yes, we are. So here's the question I pose, especially to our drivers that are probably watching. Is this race more likely or less likely to make you want to try the actual dirt car content in iRacing?
Would you like my answer as well?
Yes.
Less. Purely because I know I'd be bad at it.
Well, I'll tell you the same thing I tell everyone else. If you're trying to start your dirt iRacing career, and it's pretty much where you have to start regardless, just get through street stocks as quickly as you can. And then start with the 305 wing sprint car. It's the closest thing to a pavement car it's going to be on.
We'll see, I may make that jump at some point, but for now we are going racing once again in
Call me when
the
you do and I'll
Next
coach
Gen
you.
Cup cars. I will let you know.
Coached Frank to a B license.
Oh. I've seen him drive on dirt. His rallying skills when you weren't coaching him were interesting. But,
Oh, contact!
where?
Hagman and the 57
Oh.
of Larson getting into each other. Yep. Saw that one
57's
coming.
not having a fun race.
No.
As yeah, it started with him contact with Anton Bratberg and then spinning down off the corner into the 140 and the 79 getting a piece of that as well. And I think that was a fielder Lynn running straight through the 79 for it to... I've forgotten the saying, but oh well. To make something
What
bad
saying?
worse.
Oh, to add insult to injury?
That one, there you go.
Your mama dresses you funny and you get dressed in the dark. Dude, I dress myself and yeah, I don't have a light in my bedroom. These are the jokes. Just remember, folks, the 7:30 show is completely different from the 8:30. Enjoy the veal. Son of a biscuit.
So since no one's come down pit road during this, it would seem that they will have enough fuel. At which point the risk of coming down, taking tyres that might not help that much, and risking being further down where you may well come into a crash is probably not worth it.
Usually not.
So if you don't need to come down, you probably shouldn't.
Right. Bear with me, Jason. I'm having to take care of our favorite bots again.
It's fine. Like getting extra view numbers as we go green once again here. Oh, I don't like 3 wide. Not here.
I'm not a fan of it myself.
We're still doing it. There's a pinball between the 57, 140 and the 112. Be very interested to see how many X those guys are on at the end. As Anton Bratberg is spinning it round in front of the 140, that's going to cause a caution again.
Well, I wish I could say I didn't see that coming.
Look at it from the perspective of Robert Eriksson, because it said he crashed as well. I didn't see that one. Oh, he had his own incident. 79 doing a good job of getting that one stopped. See Bratberg just here on the outside. Just running too hard, I think. I don't know. I mean, he just spun down coming off towards the exit of the turn, and there were cars there.
Yeah, that's never a good idea.
But with every caution, we are increasing the number of drivers that we have on the lead lap.
Right.
So that's good at least. Total Willem being let round. Bring us back up to 16 of 22 drivers who are on the lap.
There we go. All right then. Looks like the lights are out on the pace truck. Eric Blixt, your only A-class licensed driver in the field, currently sitting +3. Jesper Eriksson, after winning the Consi, up there as well. You had that happen too, huh?
Okay, glad it's not just me. Normally it's just me, but here we go
No,
again.
that was slightly terrifying as everybody just disappeared. Gunnarsson getting a good run on the low side. Blixt hanging it out. Gunnarsson had to throw the block, couldn't do it. And there it is.
Oh. Don't move forward when there's a car there. Robert Erling has unfortunately been spun after that caution was called, so let's take a look.
Well, that's a receipt.
Yeah, Johan Larsson just getting shoved around and then unfortunately moving forward into the path of another car.
Yeah, but Larson, that was a receipt he just received.
Yeah. Said that something happened to Force as well. Don't know about that one.
Yeah, that was before the yellow flew.
Oh. I think that probably would have caused the yellow anyway.
Oh yeah.
But he got put round.
Yeah, that's no bueno. Chased it up the track on the restart, jumps in front of the 19, and just around she goes. Unfortunately, the 82, a victim of circumstance twice.
Yeah, so cautions really do breed cautions, as we're on our 8th caution now.
Place your bets, folks.
So here we go, we're getting lined up to go again.
Gunnarsson did have the nose out front when the caution flag flew. Let's see what type of restart Blix is going to be able to get on the outside lane, which that seems to be the preferred line. Playing possum there as the pace truck peels on off. Here we go. Gunnarsson leads him into the Geico restart zone. Just like that, we are back underway as Blix kind of tiptoeing on that outside. Here comes the 37 of Eriksson.
Yeah, that doesn't look like tiptoeing anymore as he's sending it on the outside. A lot closer to the wall than I would be comfortable with. But that's what you gotta do, as looks like Gunnarsson might be around. He's able to keep it in a straight line, but...
They're trying to crash behind him.
Yeah.
3 wide.
Casually, as you do. But that puts Gunnarsson straight out of the lead, unfortunately for him. Oh, trying another crash. We really are trying.
There it goes.
It's eventually come out, and I had no idea who it's actually come out for.
Jonas Force.
I see.
He had help.
Oh yeah, just a bit. But I have a perspective to go into of this one.
Okay.
On board with the 016. Now we've said no wall riding. I don't think getting up on two wheels is quite what they meant by that.
Well, they mean nothing like we saw at Martinsville in the real world.
Yes. Liesnich was firmly at about a 60-degree angle to the ground, as 2 wheels on the dirt, 2 wheels on the catch fence. I mean,
well,
didn't mean it, but it looked quite cool.
There are times on the dirt side of things where that cushion and where the fast part of the track is going to be is right next to that wall. We call it wearing the Hoosier off the right rear, because most of the series that run on the dirt side of things in iRacing use Hoosier tires. These and the trucks are the only 2 that use the Goodyears, but you call it wearing the Hoosier or wearing the lettering off, because you've got to just put that right rear tire where there's grip and hope for the best. I remember one of the first times the NASCAR trucks went to Eldora. Kyle Larson ran up there all night as the lights had come out at Bristol.
Been blessed by the floodlighting. We have just crossed over onto 25 to go. If you're wondering where that puts us time-wise, plenty. Just over halfway in the time, so hopefully we get some good green flag runs to finish this one out. But that's getting harder and harder to do with it being harder and harder to find the grip on this track.
This is where the dirt experience comes in. Good grief. 3 wide for the lead.
And who was in front at the caution?
Not for the guys that were 3 wide for the lead. I've got Lisnick.
Let's take a look. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, no, don't go back to yellow flag. We've seen what happens. Let's go back to green flag. See, from the start, get going again. And sends it a lot into turn 1, and unfortunately sending it a bit too much. Going straight down into another car and then spinning himself up out to the outside wall. Which is probably exactly what I'd be doing on every restart, because I can't keep it in a straight line on dirt. Even a straight line.
Well, there's more grip on dirt than there will be in rain.
Yes, true. But I'm used to rain. I'm British.
You guys have dirt tracks over there. I've seen it.
We do. Just not many people go to them.
I believe they call it banger racing.
Yes. You take a car, and then you remove pretty much everything apart from the parts that make it run, and the shell of the body.
And then you make it look like an Anglia Thames wagon.
Yeah, and then you stick a number on it, and you go around a dirt circle for a bit with barely any rules, as far as I can tell.
The only rule is try not to kill anybody. Like, literally kill them. Just, you can beat and bang on each other as much as you want, just try not to injure each other.
If you're going to hit someone, make sure it's not on the driver's door.
Right. Which the good news about a sprint car is you don't have to worry about a driver's door being visible. Green flag comes back out. Haflidason going to have the lead as Eriksson and Blix going after each other now for second. Helmbro up there. Dan Solo was having a good recovery drive, but has since fallen back a little bit.
Oh, that's Haflidason.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Look at that one. He was, well, he was just running out in the lead, and then he just stayed on the stuff where there's no dirt, and bye-bye.
Yeah, he got into the slick stuff and just could not hang on to it.
At the same time, Pontus Nilsson and Marcus Liesnich appear to have had something happen at the same time. Ooh. That was a crash. It was difficult to describe, actually. Liesnich, for some reason going slowly, messed up the entry to the turn. 79 collects him up into the 19. Up into someone else, down into another driver, and then lots of damage. 2 cars stopped. But
yeah, he guessed wrong on where his turn-in mark was going into 3.
Yeah.
And as he's trying to collect it, he's way down on the low side. He bounced off the wall, and that's what got him into trouble. He bounced off the pit wall on the backstretch. And then the 79 goes to the apron to try to avoid him as he's coming. As the 016 is going up the track, the 79 goes to the apron to try to avoid him. sending the 069 up into the 19. And the 49 was just along for the ride at that point. Tier, nowhere to go. It just gets nerfed. And surprise, surprise, Robert Earling catches a race car to the tee. Well, that didn't go as planned.
No, not quite. Well, we are now 15 to go. How many green white checker attempts do we get?
3.
Okay. That feels like something that's worth
Going
checking
to come
on.
in handy.
Yeah. Lights are out on the pace truck. Luckily, the cautions here are short.
Normally, there are only 2 laps on the dirt side of things. Pace truck is in. Eriksson has the button. Wouldn't it be something if Eriksson could pull this one off?
Oh.
And he did the same thing Dan Solo did earlier.
Yep, that looks like a gear decided to say no on that one, but still time for him, and still time for another yellow flag with the other Eriksson. Robert Eriksson is one of the drivers involved. See why.
Lost the back end while trying to get around the 29.
Loses the back end in front of Oda Willen, and well, nowhere she could go to avoid it. Bit of a shame.
Just put your foot to the floorboard and hope it doesn't hurt bad.
It happens.
But yeah, that all started when Eriksson could not get the car to shift. You know, and that's it's kind of a double-edged sword, because most places will tell you don't restart in your race gear. Most dirt drivers will tell you don't restart in low gear, because most of these cars are either a one-speed gearbox or 2-speed gearbox. But whatever gear you're going to be racing in, restart that and just plunge it.
Yeah.
That way you take the torque multiplier out of the transmission, and you're less likely to just cook the tires and miss a shift.
Or just spin it up.
Well, yeah, that's cooking the tires. You know, you just spin the tires and you're not going anywhere except to the back very quickly. So Blix, Gunnarsson, Helmbro, Erildsson, Eriksson, Brostrom, Fredriksson, Solo, Bradberg, and Selander rounding out your top 10 as we currently sit. And we have 19 cars left on the lead lap. As lights should be going out on the pace truck this time by. There we go. So Blick's going to have the button. As we are 10 to go right now, we're going to restart on 9 to go.
And hopefully make it a good one to the end here. At Trashcar Custom Dirt Race at Bristol Motor Speedway. Let's get going again with 9 to go here. Decent enough restart for the top 2 this time around.
Oy. Almost 3 wide again. As 77 jumped on the binders to try to stay off with Blix. Comes the 24 Erildsson around the top side. Eriksson in the 37 working the low shelf back into a podium spot. 24 just sails it. Erildsson almost got into trouble there going into 1 and 2.
Almost, but luckily he didn't, as Haflidason sailing around the outside of Oscar Fredriksson there.
Picks off cylinder as well.
Oh.
Contact with Linus Broström. So far, so good. Everybody keeping it moving in the right direction. Going to move Haflidason up into 7th. Cylinder up into 8th. Broström back to 9th. As that is a slugfest right now for 4th. As Eriksson has it, Solo and Helmbro both want it. Solo sends it up through the middle, going through 3 and 4.
That is brave. Seems like it could work out in the end as well. Slides it up in front of the 24. That works out. 24 nowhere to go but the 13's rear. It looks like we're having a battle for second here, as well as Jesper Eriksson still trying to recover, trying to get past Jonas Gunnarsson now.
Be 3 laps to go this next time by. Erik Blix working the extreme high side up where that's the only bit of moisture that's left on this track. Everything else has gone very dry, very slick as that battle for second rages on. 3 laps to go. It'll be 2 at the line. Blix shows the way as Gunnarsson blocks off Eriksson going through 3 and 4. Boy. Gunnarsson now makes a bid for the lead. It'll be white flag this next time by. All you got to do is hold on for 1 corner. White flag is in the air. Blake's going to lead him up. We are racing back to checkers.
Erik Blix is looking good to hold on here, but how is it going to finish for second? Jesper Eriksson's going to look down the inside, slams it up into Jonas Gunnarsson and comes through. Gunnarsson's not going to be able to have the run and ends up in third with Jesper Eriksson in second place, and Erik Blix taking a pretty convincing victory, if I do say so myself. That end margin not really doing him justice, actually, I think.
Correct. I mean, he had one of the cars to beat all night long. But how about Jesper Eriksson wins the B main, doesn't have it his own way in the heat race, wins the B main, and finishes second in the A after climbing through that carnage of a field.
That's how you make a comeback.
And unfortunately, none of our podium finishers are in the Discord server.
Not as of yet. We'll wait for them. See if any of them come in. But while we do wait, why don't we take a quick look at the final results of the race. So we've got Erik Blix, Jesper Eriksson, and Jonas Gunnarsson 1, 2, and 3. Dan Solo and Alex Errolson round out your top 5, with Peter Helmbro, Michael Haflidason, Andrei Solander, Linus Broström, and Oscar Fredriksson rounding out the top 10.
Sorry about that. Daniel Holmer coming home in 11th. Marcus Hagman rebounding for 12th. Johan Larsson in 13th. Jonas Forss in 14th. Kenneth Tier in 15th. 16th is going to go to Martin Lisnik. Pontius Nielsen in 17th. 18th going to Anton Bradford. Eriksson in 19th. And Earling in 20th. Vilda Whalen and Philip Carlin rounding out your field of 22 starters here tonight. As I believe we've got our podium with us now in the chat. Who would you like to start with, Jason?
Ooh, I don't mind, to be honest.
Well, let's reach out to the man that had the car to beat and showing that he had the highest I rating in the field and the only A-class license on dirt side or on the dirt oval side of things for a reason. Eric Blix, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a hell of a race.
Talk us through just how different this car handles to the rest of the dirt oval content.
I mean, this is pretty much just a boat, a very stiff boat, so it doesn't really give in. The suspension is so stiff, so it's so easy to just jump a cushion and end up in the fence. So it's really hard compared to the other ones.
Absolutely. One of the only drivers didn't go pit side at all tonight. Were you planning to if we had stayed green a little longer at times?
I mean, the top stayed good for most parts. In the end, it was very narrow. So I think maybe if we had like 20 more green laps, I would have ventured down the track a little bit. But the top still had moisture, and it had a pretty decent cushion, even though it was kind of, you had to enter it kind of shallow because it was a big lump of mud just stacked up on the entry. So yeah, but if we had like 20 more green laps, I think I would have ventured down a little bit.
Again, congratulations on the win. Who do you need to thank before we let you go celebrate?
Yes, just all my teammates and Numa Racing, Alcantech, Similabs, Almitech. So yeah, pretty much everyone that makes it happen and make sure we have an enjoyable time racing here.
All right, Eric Blix, congratulations. We'll catch you next time, sir.
Thank you.
And Jason, I believe you've got the man that came up just a tick short tonight with you now.
Yep, Jesper Eriksson, that was a recovery and a half. Talk us through that one.
I don't know what to say. It was from the heat race all through. It was just chaos. I've done one dirt oval race and I started last, finished last, and this is my second, which went a lot better. Still can't shift the cars in the restarts, which sucked and kind of lost me the win. But yeah, it was fun. It was plenty of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. Just hard racing. Some things can be arguable with the rules and stuff, but yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. Maybe a little too hard on the last lap there, but yeah.
Yeah, and what were your thoughts after you were doing so well in your heat, and then it just unraveled for you? What were your thoughts after that?
A lot of beeping in my head and mad thoughts, and no, I was just mad, disappointed, getting turned when I had a good chance just having the win. But yeah, well, it's racing. Everything can happen, even bad stuff.
Yeah, well, in the end, second place is still a pretty good result. And before we let you go and celebrate, is there anyone you'd like to thank?
Just the whole team. We had such good team coordination throughout the whole race. Just talking to each other, where it was fastest, where everyone else was going, what gear, how we just everything. The whole team did an amazing job. Amazing recovery from absolutely everybody. And 9 cars in the final, where only 22 cars started. It's an absolute nice result. I can't thank them enough, and I'm so proud of everyone.
Yeah, congratulations to you on your second place.
Thank you very much.
Tony, you have our third place finisher with you now.
Jonas Gunnarsson, all things considered, can't be too disappointed with surviving Bristol and with a podium.
Nah, I'm very happy with that. I'm not a dirt driver, so going into the final heat was just a good result for me, and P3 is just a bonus.
Absolutely. Now, being as you don't have a lot of dirt experience, how difficult was the learning curve for you coming into things tonight, knowing that it's a car that doesn't really belong on a track like this, but yet we did it anyways?
We got two good dirt drivers in our team, Eric and Daniel, and they learned me a lot before this race. So I just listened to them and try to copy what they do.
Now, is it safe to assume that you guys had completely different setups for the heat races as opposed to going into the feature?
No, it's everybody has the same setup. It's fixed setup.
Oh, okay. I apologize. I thought this was an open set league.
No,
I
it's a fixed
apologize.
setup league.
So, Jonas, who do you need to thank before we let you go celebrate this podium with the rest of your team?
Yeah, I want to thank my wife and my kids for letting me play like this on the computer, and Nyman Racing, Almitech, and all the guys in the team in Alkentech NHL.
Jonas Gunnarsson, we'll see you next time. Congratulations on a podium here tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
And Jason, that puts another one in the books for us.
Yeah, it does indeed. At possibly the most unique track we're going to see all season. It provided some very unique racing, unique format, and it's definitely put a little bit of a shake-up in the results that we may usually see as well.
Absolutely. It's good to see the cream rising to the top. Some of our best dirt drivers finishing in the top 10. Eric Blix, who we mentioned, had the highest IR and the only A-class license. You kind of would expect him to show up and show out here tonight. But Dan Solo, good recovery drive for him. Coming home with a top 5. And, Jesper Eriksson, Jonas Gunnarsson rounding out your podium. When we saw the green flag action, it was some of the best green flag dirt action I have seen in quite a while.
Well, that is good to hear for these drivers then.
10 out of 10 would broadcast next season.
Well, there you go. There's the there's the hint from Tony.
But we gonna send it home now?
Yeah, I think we are just about ready to pack up our things and head out of Bristol Motor Speedway. But thank you everyone for watching. I've been Jason Sawford, joined by Tony Trapasso, and we will see you next week.